so much wax on my ears. I am truly an old man at this point. Nice.
So we have two Melissas here. We have Melissa Fox, that's in the studio right there.
Hello.
And then we have Melissa Jacob, who's behind you.
Nice. Congrats on your move.
Yep, it's a whole new ballgame now. So how's that heat treating you, Craig?
Well, it sucks, but I've been at Disney all week. Like I'm getting my butt kicked over there. So I work remote today because I'm right up the road.
Right.
And then as soon as this is over, heading home, changing shirts, and then going to the retirement party for my buddy.
Right.
And then tomorrow I'm going to quote unquote work remote. But I'm not planning on doing much. I have a couple of meetings I have to do. But yeah, all week has just been ugly.
It's been ridiculous. Have you done Tom and Dan yet?
Yeah, I did that last week.
Last week?
So. Could that lens be any larger? It's like I can see the moon.
Oh, you know what? I just realized that you don't have the bad thing, my background up.
Not in my shots, but I forgot. I'm sorry. I stink. It's this tooth issue.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I totally meant to. The hell? Oh, right.
Oh, righty.
There we go. Working on it. Oh, there we go. Boop.
Boop.
Next one. There it is.
There it
Oh, my goodness.
Beep.
Okay. Boop,
All right.
beep. All right. Let's get over where we belong. Boop. All right, whatever. Come on now.
How is the Tom and Dan show? It's always fun.
Oh,
I'm
God,
sure.
please. It's always a good time.
I know.
NPR must be hard up for content because I got hit up by two different reporters for NPR
Really?
to do
nice.
stuff for them. So, yeah.
Do it.
Oh, I did. Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, I did.
we did a Zoom. Please, I don't turn down any interview.
Yeah.
We did a Zoom interview, and then one of them came last night and did video at the tent itself.
They
And then,
charge you?
No.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The one last night was doing a thing on the
That is awesome.
artistry of fireworks, which was
That's
actually a different take on it. So.
Right.
Kinda cool.
You know, Tom and I were talking a lot. We'll talk about this on the show too, but we were just talking about like the firework conventions and, you know, all the different, because there's so much that goes into fireworks that you don't even realize.
mhm.
And you have a lot of fun too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. I'm ready whenever you are. Begin.
We're waiting on you, girlfriend.
No, you weren't. You quit lying. Quit
No,
lying.
we're just here just talking away.
No.
ready.
You made me fix the logo, so I was
Are
ready.
you whistling?
Yeah.
That's a good whistle.
That's pretty impressive. All right, let's start the shindig. Hour number 2, segment number 1. Here we go.
You're listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo! My compliments, little lady.
Break for 30 seconds.
You are now listening to Bad Radio.
And welcome back as we launch into the second hour of Bad Radio. I'm going to run through all of the regular info for those of you who might have just joined us. I am Angela Smarito, your host, and we've got our producer, Melissa Fox.
What up, what up?
Our co-host and videographer, Melissa Jacob.
That's me. Hello.
And her business is called Striking Brand. And if you watched, you can see all of last year's Bad Radio episodes on badradio.com. And she did all of those. She did an
Mhm.
amazing job.
Thank you.
And you can go to strikingbrand.com and you can see all of her other work because she is a photographer as well as a videographer. Okay, our second guest today is a longtime friend, Craig LaFleur with Power Spot Fireworks.
Hello.
Hi.
Craig was on the show last year, but I think it was we didn't have the video last year, did we?
No, I don't believe we did.
Yeah.
You must have snuck in right towards the end before I got in there.
Yes, but I
Yep.
told him it was a super fun show because I think my blonde was coming out. I couldn't.
Nice.
What was it? I couldn't remember the name of some lake or something, and
Mhm.
Emily kept saying it's Lake Monroe, and I was like, what's the name? And she's just like, it's like Monroe. And I'm just,
I've forgotten all about
and
that.
I was just like, la, 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 la. It just was not registering with me. So anyway, so Craig and I are actually friends. So
Okay.
like we can like
Banter for hours.
absolutely.
Got it.
So I met Craig years and years ago when I actually worked here at iHeart. And I don't really even remember how we became acquainted, but somehow I got you as a client. And that's when, I mean, this would have been 14 years ago. So how many years have you been doing Pirate Spot now?
So 2007. So, and started advertising 2008 with
Okay.
iHeart. So,
Well, who was your rep before me? Do you remember? Or
right,
what-
I can't remember. Please, I'm an old man now.
I mean, I'm trying to remember, but I've been your rep for as long as I remember. And then when I left here and I went over to the other place,
Mhm.
you know, of course I was like, hey, I got stations over here too.
yeah, come here.
Anyway, but Craig's been great because he's the first one. He gave Anna her first job. He's given Aiden his first job.
Nice.
I think it's funny now because Aiden's like, they make me pick everything up all the time. I'm like, well, that's what happens when you're 6 foot
Yeah, no
tall.
kidding.
Yeah.
Please. You're tall and you're in great shape, and you're young and we're not.
I know. He's not complaining at all. In fact, I think he really likes the fact that he's had this growth spurt and he's like this humongous
Yeah.
young person now.
Yeah, every time he shows up, because we're seasonal, so we're only
Right.
open for New Year's Eve and for 4th of July. Every time he shows up, there's like another 3 inches on the kid.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yesterday, he
Yeah.
pitched in West Palm, and he pitched the whole 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, hit 87 miles per hour.
Wow.
It was just a phenomenal game.
I
2
hope
hits.
scouts were there.
Huh?
Were scouts
They
there?
did a write up on him
Oh,
on
that's
like a
nice.
scout's notes and
Ooh.
stuff like that. So
That's
it's
good.
coming. It's coming. It's going to be good. But anyway, so this is your 14th year doing Pirate Spot? Or
No.
in
So
there?
this is going to be 16 for us.
Nice.
So,
And how many
or
locations do
maybe
you have
7.
now?
I can't even. 3 locations.
Right. So it's above 15, below 20. We'll say that.
So,
In that ballpark. Where are you? You said 3 locations?
yeah, we're in Longwood, right on the corner of 434 and 1792.
Okay.
We're in Sanford in the Seminole Town Center parking lot. So in the mall parking lot right there,
Right.
right near the Hooters.
Nice.
And in Eustis off of 441.
Okay.
Now, was Eustis or Longwood your first one?
Longwood was the first one. And actually, at the time, I lived in Longwood. So I was looking around for a place to open one, and it was close to home. I liked the corner where we're at and made the jump from there.
Right. And so people just know you're going to be there. And then they're like, okay, we're going to go to Craig because he has the best fireworks in town. How do you get the best fireworks in town?
Yeah.
So every year, I probably watch 300 fireworks on video, and then we actually go to demos. Every year, all of the big importers who sell wholesale domestically or who import hold demos across the U.S. So we go to a couple of the biggest ones every year, which I'll be honest, what it is now is it's a guy's trip where we eat, drink, and watch fireworks.
I like this.
That
on the
doesn't
company
suck.
dime. No, come on. Like people are
But you own the
volunteering
company,
to go
so that's
down.
your
Yeah,
dime.
yeah, exactly. It's fun. No, like when we go, those companies are, because I buy enough fireworks now
Oh,
to
that's
where
right.
the
You're the-
rooms are comped and they,
Nice.
they're bringing in barbecue for us and taking us out to
Oh.
dinner and.
I
Oh,
want to
so
go.
I
You
know.
basically spend a long weekend, depending on where we're at, sitting in like high school football stadium stands, and they're launching fireworks.
I was wondering
from the
how
field.
they
So
did that, if they went out to like a big open field and people just got like lawn chairs and, like campers and
Yeah,
that sort of
it
thing.
depends where you're at. One of the ones in Pittsburgh, Kansas, actually one of my favorite ones. They just they've got a 350,000 square foot warehouse out there, but they own acres of land in front of the warehouse. So they just do it right in front of their warehouse, and they actually bring in temporary bleachers and tables and chairs, and we sit there with a rating sheet and watch fireworks and rate them. I usually, it's great actually to bring a crew of people, because I've done it for so long. You get used to seeing certain things, and I don't want to say you get jaded, but maybe I'm used to a particular thing and it doesn't impress me as much
Yeah, right.
as it might other people. So what we do is we have 3 to 5 people there. We all rate the fireworks, and at the end we average the score. So it's every year, no fail. I'll look at the rating sheets, and there will be people who are like, "Oh, this is amazing," and I'll be like, "I gave it a 7 out of 10."
right.
So, but I trust their judgment as well. So that's how we pick the best fireworks. I don't care that much about what the cost is for me. I'm fortunate in that I can undercut most of my competitors. I can carry better stuff and sell it for less than they sell the mediocre stuff.
I was going to ask you, why are fireworks so expensive?
Because they're all made in China
Okay.
and imported from China. I mean, that's the long and short of it. During the pandemic, the shipping rates skyrocketed.
I
So
remember you're talking
Get
about
it?
that.
the cost of a container went from about $12,000 in shipping costs to about $37,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a stinger.
Yeah.
And
So when you buy them, do you buy them from a warehouse that they're already here, or do you actually have to pay for them to be shipped over from
the majority, we see at these demos, we see both domestic and import. And then I order my import about a year ahead. So we order the stuff a year before it actually starts. We ordered this year in end of July, beginning of August, and they started arriving in March of this year. So,
Man, that's a lot of work. I didn't,
Right.
you don't realize that. So Tom and I were driving down. I don't know. We were in like the Bithlow area. We're going towards West Palm. We're going to go to 95, and there was just like a one-off little guy over there. And I'm like, Tom was like, I wonder where he gets his fireworks. I'm like, I'm going to ask Craig. But I meant like, they're just like, what? Do you like drive to Tennessee or something and buy them and bring them back? And
there's tons of wholesale places in the big ones are in North Carolina. There's some in Louisiana, and then up north there's Kansas has some.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're ordering a lot, you can order it wholesale. Now the difference in cost between buying domestically wholesale and importing, probably 25 to 30%. And to be honest, I think for the most part, I get better stuff by importing.
right.
You have to be very picky about it. I'm very picky about what companies I use. There's 20 different wholesalers in the United States, and I use about 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of it you do direct import.
I
correct?
direct import. Yeah, I'm probably importing about 80% of my stuff right now, and about 20% domestically. Because in all honesty, if there's something that's amazing and it's only available domestically, I'm going to carry it.
Right.
Like I'm
You're
going
not
to
gonna miss
have it.
out.
Period. It doesn't matter if I can't import it. If I'm paying more for it, but it's amazing, I'm going to have it in the tent. So.
I know we're coming up to the break, but I'm just wondering, is there like always like each year, is there like one big thing that everybody's got to have?
So just about every year there's one thing, and it's funny because we videotape the demos too, and then we'll go back and watch the video, and the audio on the video is almost more valuable than the video itself, because there are certain fireworks where you will hear 1,000 people who were there. Oh,
Right.
and they're like, well, we got to get that one. Like if people react like that, but there's almost always something, whether it's a new effect or a new color that they've come up with, or, this year we have one. Actually, we had it last year as well. It's a smaller cake, but it's an amazing show for the size that it is.
Right. Well, we're going to talk more about fireworks when we get back from break. So stay tuned because it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it should be. We're not going to blow up the place, though. Not here. But it'd be fun. I mean, I thought about it, but let's not do that. You're listening to Bad Radio Sundays from 11 until 1 on News Radio WFLA Orlando.
Yeah. I was going to drive by that place and be like, you suck.
Many years ago, we might have set some mortars off in the parking lot here, but that was a long time ago, and we were told not to do it again.
I'm shocked, Craig.
I'm pretty sure that was a Monsters. If I had to guess.
Absolutely shocked. Actually, I was your rep. I remember.
Oh,
Yeah, that was right about your time.
That's right. I was your rep.
I was like, I think I got talked to myself.
Going on here?
Yeah, well, it's all worth it.
It is all worth it, isn't it? All right, segment number 2 coming up right now. 6 for those of you counting.
Welcome back to Bad Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back. And this portion of the show is brought to you by Rachel Roach Realty, a Coldwell Banker Realtor. With a sea of realtors out there, choose one that thinks about you first and not their commission. 407-252-4566. And we're here with Craig LaFleur, owner of Power Spot Fireworks. And you said we have 3 different locations. And before break, we were talking about the different kinds of fireworks and everything that goes into like picking out the best fireworks. But what even made you decide to do this in the first place?
Okay, I am going to directly blame my father.
Okay.
I am a pyromaniac, and it's his fault. So when I was growing up, I'm from Louisiana originally, and one of the best memories I have is as a young kid going with my dad to Angelo's Fireworks. I still know the name of it, and actually it's still there in Louisiana, run by his daughter now.
Nice.
He's long passed, but so we would go, and my dad would let me pick out different things, and Mr. Angelo would say, "Oh, you want to try this?" and he'd give a couple of things, and my dad would get some stuff, and then he and I would set fireworks off together for 4th of July and for New Year's every year. And it was just such a great time, and both really enjoyed it. So I had always done fireworks. I moved to Florida later, and I couldn't believe that I couldn't get most of the stuff that I was buying in Louisiana here. I was not impressed with what was available here.
You're
So
like, I'm going to change it. Damn it.
every time
He's
I
on a
would,
mission.
I would drive home to Louisiana to visit, and I would stop at stores on the way and pick up stuff.
But
or
I
go
remember that as a kid. We would take trips to North Carolina, and my dad would be like, okay, we got to take a trip. We got to go. I thought it was Tennessee, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. But I meant we actually had to drive to a state to load up, and then that's what we would have for our fireworks.
Most firework vendors, their goal is to buy the cheapest product they can, mark it up by an obscene amount, and then sell it, because you have no choice. I mean, whenever I started in the business, that was it. I mean, the largest players were carrying junk, in my opinion.
Right.
So I became more educated, started researching fireworks, finding out what was good, what was not, found out how to order it myself. And whenever I first started, literally it was me and 6 guys who were all pyromaniacs. We ordered wholesale for ourselves. And then we had a couple of extra things we just sold off to friends, near cost. And that was for New Year's one year. And then in March, April the next year, I started getting phone calls going, "Hey, my name's Chris. I'm a friend of Mark's, and he had gotten these fireworks from you, and they were really cool." So I brought even more the next year and did the same thing, sold off the extra, and they were gone in a week.
That's
Right.
so
And
cool.
I spent a year researching it, actually, kind of from an industrial engineering perspective, looking at how the stores did it and the other tents, and I said, I think I can do it better. So I spent a year working on it, and then opened up my own place, and then made everyone who knew me crazy, because I changed just about everything every year for the first 5 years until I really felt we were in the zone.
So his business came to him. That's awesome.
But
That's a cool
he
story.
is the guy from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like when I walk through, he's like, "Oh, you got to have one of these and one of
Yeah.
these and one of these." And next thing you know, Aiden will come home too with like all these fireworks, and he's just like, he's glowing. He's like so excited for
Oh,
them.
I'm going to need to come to you then.
One of our big differences is in our locations, we have touchscreens with video of everything we sell. So you can actually see it before you buy it. You can see, because not everyone likes everything. Some people like big gold brocade, and they don't want really loud fireworks. And some people like, something that's crazy wide, and some people they don't have a lot of room, and they need something that just fires vertically.
Yeah.
So we have it all, and you can make sure that you're picking out stuff that is appropriate for you, instead of just buying whatever box happens to be on the shelf in front of you.
I know one time we got one from Craig, and he was like, "It's medium, right?" It lit up our whole freaking neighborhood. like it
has
was
a
like
different-
canopy of
yeah,
trees,
he
and
has
the
a
kids were
different scale.
running.
My perspective, once
Yeah,
again,
it's-
becomes a little off kilter.
Has a different scale. Well, those videos sound really helpful, because usually when I go into a store, I'm like asking the person, "What does this one look like? What does this one look like?" And it's like the descriptions are so hard. So the video is probably real helpful.
But they're still like just the must-haves, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what are some of those?
Oh, God. So everyone, like, we've had this thing called Poopy Puppy, which is a little novelty that you set on the ground for kids, and you light it, and it looks like it's taking a dump. And it
Kids
is.
The kids
love
love
it.
Oh, my God. We go through so many of those every year. It's ridiculous. And then, I mean, people like the small, we call them the 200-gram cakes, which are the smaller aerial cakes that shoot up and things like that.
Wait a minute, you have like mortar. What's a mortar?
Oh, yeah. The mortars are the one that you put in a tube one at a time, and you light it, and then they shoot up in the air with a big break. And, you have all sizes from like small mortars up to the largest, like Excalibur Platinum. It goes about 250 foot in the air with about 175-foot diameter break. So that's
Wow.
It sounds like a cannon going off.
Do
So
people have to have a license to buy some of those?
you do not. So these are all consumer fireworks. So they're all legal in the state of Florida.
You make people
So-
sign a waiver before they go.
No waivers or anything else like that. We do, like, if you go to our website, iwantfireworks.com, we have an entire page on safety that I highly recommend you peruse and
Yeah.
take a look over, because it's very important for us.
Well, it's always like you said. I remember my dad. Again, we talk about my dad, but I think he singed like all the hair off his legs one year, and then another, and then by the time they're done, his fingertips are like all black.
Oh gosh.
My dad loves to tell the story of whenever I was a little kid, he was holding a Roman candle, and I told him, Dad, you're not supposed to hold those Roman candles. You have to put them in the ground. And he laughed at me, and then it blew up in his hand. And it was a tiny Roman candle, no damage to him except scaring the poop out of him.
Yeah.
But of course, he loves telling people that story, because my parents come down for 4th of July almost every year, and they help me at the fireworks tent.
Yes.
So my dad is there at the tent right now helping people who come in, and it's hilarious because I straight up get phone calls. I had a call on Tuesday of this week going, I'm coming on Thursday. Is your father going to be there? Because that's who they want to help him. Like, they don't want to
he's
talk
amazing.
to me.
I love him.
Right, yeah.
And what they do for their staff, it's like a tradition. He'll like cook like Louisiana style, like jambalaya and chicken, and when the kids would come home, because like I said, Anna worked there 1st, and then Aiden too. He'd be like, Craig's dad made the best stuff today. And
We will be having crawfish etouffee for dinner tomorrow night. So yeah, I'm excited.
Does Aiden work tomorrow? I don't know. July 1st. I know he's there. But that's, what I mean? It's like, so the kids come in and they work, and it's like this whole family environment. But I, like, even for Anna, I was amazed at how well it was organized and put together, because it was the first time she'd ever been in a job environment ever. And I dropped her off, and I was like, oh, Craig, take care of her. I'm all nervous. And I'm like, okay, call me if you need anything. I go to pick her up, and she's like behind the register, like, next, come on. Next, come on. Next. And I was like, all right, I don't know what you did, but it worked. And
She's a worker
doing
now.
good.
It is hilarious how these teenagers just jump on this. It's 90% of the kids who come and work for us work year after year after year until they graduate and go to college. And the person running my tent in Sanford started working for me when he was 15. Worked for me every year.
Is it Jason?
Jacob.
Okay.
Cable. Yeah. Went to college, graduated, went to law school, graduated. He's got a law practice now, and he's running my tent in Sanford.
That's so fantastic.
And he goes to the firework demos with us to watch fireworks because he's a pyromaniac too. So he's like, this is the greatest thing ever. Are you kidding?
I love that. So from everything from like you import it, and then you like, do you train people? Like, do you say, okay, this is how a fireworks show supposed to go?
Yeah. So for our employees, we make them watch the videos, because that's important to me, is that when people come in, that we're actually helping them pick out something that works for them.
Right.
And then we have a ton of people who ask, hey, where can I let this? How do I do this? And we will happily instruct them. Any of our employees can tell you exactly what you're supposed to be doing and how to do it in a safe manner, so that you can just enjoy the show and not have any worries.
Right. Because you notice that, like you said, they do it in like they start off with the little ones, and they do these ones, and then they do these ones, and then they, all ends up to the grand finale.
Right.
Yeah, I pick out stuff all the time, and I'm walking around with a Sharpie in my pocket, and I will you're going to do this first, second, third, you're going to go
Perfect.
right through here, and this is going to be the last one you're going to do.
Love it. All right. Well, we're going to talk some more fireworks when we get back, because this is so much fun.
I know.
I love the 4th of July. All right. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more Power Spot fireworks.
Would you like to make a wager on how many fingers are lost this season? Just saying. We'll be right back. It's Bad Radio.
I've always said if I lost 2 fingers, my sales would go up 30%. I
Bro.
would change
Oh,
the
yeah.
name to 4-Finger Craig's Fireworks in a heartbeat.
4-finger Freds. That's awesome.
Yep. The 16th. So right as we were setting up, and I mean, it's great because then my dad's here for Father's Day. So then, we all came to the house. We cut out at like 3 o'clock. Actually, I think we cut out 1 o'clock on Father's Day. Came to the house, grilled steaks, had a good time. And I went, last night I was so damn busy, but I had to go to the tent just so they could get video for the PBS thing. And my mom's like, I cooked. And it was like 8:30 at night. I was tired. It'd been a long day. And I was like, okay. What am I going to
Right.
Mom cooked. I was just like, I made the food you like. Okay, I'll stay and eat the food that you make. Oh, yeah.
Are the Bradshaws kids still working there, or are they all grown up now? I know Jess is bigger, but what about Emma?
They've all grown up, gone to real jobs.
Yep.
It's hilarious how it works. So.
That's right, because Emma's the same age as Anna. They're all grown up now.
Terrifying. My daughter is there running the counter. She's managing my counters for me.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Has been for years.
All right, this is segment 3.
3, yes,
Okay.
that's correct. Mm-hmm. Stand by. Here we go.
Welcome back to Bad Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Liberty Property Inspections. Your home is one of your most important investments, so don't trust it to just anyone. LibertyPropertyInspections.net, helping you protect your investment. All right, so we're talking fireworks with Craig, owner of Pyrospot Fireworks. He's got 3 locations, which are
Longwood. Eustis.
and
Sanford.
Sanford.
There you go.
And so which of the 3 is the most, that it's got the highest volume?
Longwood, only because it's Eustis is 5 years old now, and Sanford is 2 years
Okay.
old. So Longwood has been around forever, and that's where people first got to know me and started buying fireworks. I had someone who stopped by day before yesterday and had been shopping since the very first year we were opened.
Dang.
And
no, that's what it's like. It's like people know.
They were so nice about it. They're like, I remember when you were in a tiny tent, and it was. I mean, we're so much larger than we started. And I was like, oh yeah, I can't even believe that far back. And he's like, yeah, you had like 5 people working, and now we got a giant crew in the parking lot working there, sweating under a tent.
Yeah, that does get hot under there.
I bet.
So that's why it's like the New Year's one's good because it's not as hot there.
Sign up for the New Year's ones.
I remember when did things start to ease up with COVID? I can't remember. I think it was New Year's. And I remember going to the tent and seeing people there, and it was crazy madhouse.
4th of July, 2020.
Was that
Yes, it was. It was. So, yeah.
the 2020 or 20? I just remember going because people were kind of starting to relax a little
hadn't
bit.
Eased up, as in they still had mask requirements, but everyone was stuck at home for months. All the cities canceled their shows. So I didn't know if we were going to get to open or not. Actually, a lot of firework companies did not. A lot of companies canceled orders because they thought, in February, March, this wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
I did not. I just sat on the inventory.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll have it for another year, which I was very fortunate because what ended up happening was that was the best year we'd ever had. People were dying to get out of their house and do something. So they blew our doors off.
I know. I remember Craig was like, I was like, wait. Okay,
And
I'll come back
then,
later.
Yeah.
like about midway through July 3rd, I found out from people calling our number that all of the big stores, Sky King, Phantom, all of the big box stores, had sold out of fireworks. There was nothing left. So we had people driving an hour and a half to get to our place because we were the only place in Central Florida that still had product on the shelf.
Right.
I was not prepared for that. Let me just say.
Yeah. No, I remember you were like, you had to go to the warehouse like how many times?
Oh, it was a nonstop. Had a crew loading up product and bringing it back. But even, the 4th of July is always busy on the 4th itself. So many people wait until the last day, which is a terrible idea, but they do anyway. But usually at about 5 o'clock at night, it starts to ease up in the evening, and it'll just a slow business stream after that. And on that night at 8 p.m., I'm 25 people deep in every line at the register, and people just pouring in. I was like, oh, this is never going to end.
No, that's why I remember, because I was supposed to pick up one of my kids, and when I went there to get it, and I was like, I'm not getting them right now, am I? And you're like, nope.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do remember, like he was saying, it's like last minute. I think one New Year's, it was like 10 after 10, and these jokers come walking in like, oh, we're going to get fireworks. And Craig's like, are you serious?
Wow.
He's like, we're done.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
you know what?
I mean, that is the other, and I'm a little different than the other places in that this was a hobby that turned into a great side business, right? But I have another job that I do full time. So I don't have to live off this money. This, it's great money for us for vacations and stuff like that, but it lets me undercut most of my competitors for my products and stuff. And I don't kill our staff. So we close at 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve and on the 4th of July, where most places are going to stay open until midnight because they want every dollar they can squeeze in.
But then you also do a little thing for the staff. Like, you get them together and you put out, he does his own. Yours is phenomenal.
We had to stop. But yeah, we used to do our own show. So we did have to stop doing that, unfortunately.
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, just city and
they got on you.
Yeah. It's bad when people started showing up like 2 hours before to just sit in the parking lot. When you start attracting red hot and boom numbers, you really need to start toning it down. So, yeah,
we got busted.
We did. It got bad after a while. So yeah, we did stop doing that. But we still have like a big dinner for all of the staff, and they all get free fireworks. Everybody who works for me gets free fireworks. So now they've seen the video, they've seen them, they help people out. Well, they get to pick out stuff to take home themselves.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know. No, like I said, the kids absolutely love it. So it's such a great experience. And even last year, they had some kids from the baseball team. So it was like Aiden and like 2 or 3 of his buds. And, for them.
Hanging out together selling fireworks?
Yeah, well, I mean, for them, they're mostly the loading crew.
Yeah, that's right.
It's usually the girls that are working up front, talking with people, and the boys are
Aiden did a great job, because when they're on the floor, one of the things we do is we make sure they know about the fireworks, because people are just going to ask them, hey, can you help me out?
Right.
And it's important that we stock the product when we get on the shelf, but it's more important that you help people out when they ask. So whatever you're doing, if somebody asks you, I tell everybody who works for me, you help that person get their fireworks. That's the number one priority.
It's funny too, because they'll be like, "This is 120," and the guy's like, "Yeah, I'll give you $100 for that." Give you, it's like, it's not mine to give you.
Yeah. Who do I look like?
Look, a lot of places are run by I don't want to call them carnies, but it is kind of when you drive by some of these little places.
Carnies.
Yeah, and they so people all the time they come up and they're like, "Hey man, I'll give you $25 for this," and I'm like, I can't.
You're already doing like, what is it? Buy 2 get 1 free?
We do crazy good specials on everything we do.
What are some of the specials?
Oh God! Right now we're doing buy 1 get 2 free on all 200-gram cakes, on all mortar packs up to $100, all 500-gram cakes up to $100. I can't even remember everything else. So.
But you also have like the debt-free guarantee.
Oh yeah, we replace anything with something better, or refund your money if it doesn't work. Because I carry good stuff, so I don't worry about it. We get so few duds every year that it's not an issue.
But I mean, I think that's phenomenal, because that means like you're standing behind your product.
Right.
Because I can guarantee you that stand down on Bethlo is not going to. They're
Oh,
going to be
right.
like, I'm sorry, it was soaking in water, but it's dry now.
Right.
It is funny because people do try to return product that they did not get from us. Like it's brands that I don't carry.
You're like, yeah, no.
Sorry, I can't give you your money back on that or replace it because it's not ours. But
I can only imagine some of the characters that you get through there. I mean, I've witnessed some of the characters.
It's insanity. So the last couple of years, it's been ever since 2020, our business, we picked up a lot of new customers in 2020 because we were the only guy with fireworks. And then once they shop with us, they're like, hey, steady stream of people coming. Is this really this price? And I'd be like, yeah. They're like, I'm paying twice that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you should have been shopping with us.
Right.
So
Right.
a lot of people still come to our place. We picked up a nice chunk of business from
the
that,
2022.
we actually this year, for the first time, if you go to our website, you can click a link, and we have an online store, and you can order online. Not everything is out there. We put a limited group out there, but we put some amazing packages that we put together. And then you can pick up from our warehouse, or we'll deliver within like a 15-mile radius of downtown Orlando. But we cut that off on July 2nd because it just gets too busy. But that has been crazy popular this year for people who, because that's what, so often people come in and they're like, I want to spend $200. Can you just pick me out something?
Oh, nice.
Because they're in a hurry. They don't have time to watch all the videos and everything else. So then I'll ask them, well, where are you going to set them off? Is it concrete? Is it grass? What type of, are you at a house? Are you cul-de-sacs? And then I'll pick them out, things that I think will work for them. Well, we kind of did the same thing on the website. We put together some packages that I thought were some of our best products at different price levels. So you can go on, and if you don't have time to shop, pick out a package and swing by, pick it up, or we'll deliver it if you're nearby.
That's freaking phenomenal. And that's iwantfireworks.com, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's just a tab on there that they can go pre-buy packages.
Says shop now. So.
Shop now. Well, we're going to be shopping now because I know that I'm going to get some fireworks. But we have one more segment, so stay tuned. We're going to talk more fireworks with Craig LaFleur with Power Spot Fireworks.
Don't worry, no free samples in the studio. I know, I was going to ask, did you bring any samples?
The lady before you brought
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, really?
I do actually have some in my truck downstairs.
Woo woo! I like the ones that go boom. Ooh, ah. All right. Come on, baby. Sorry. Talking nice to the
baby.
computer. You know, if you talk nice to your computer, sometimes it works.
Never works.
Never.
I know.
My real job's IT. That doesn't help.
Damn it!
That doesn't help either, though.
All right, fair enough. Stand by. Ready? Here we go.
Welcome back to Bad Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, Bolts Legal. Fear no storm with boltslegal.com. 33 tanning spa with locations in Altamont Springs and Longwood. Andrews Law PA Auto Accident Attorney. Contact Andrews Law PA today at andrewslawpa.com. And Crazy Muscle Nutrition with their new address at 1015 Unit 129 State Road 436 in Castleberry. All right, we have been talking with Craig LaFleur, owner of Power Spot Fireworks, and it's just a blast. Every time, like I said, you've been on before. Aha! I didn't even do that on purpose. I have this huge knot in the back of my hair. You can see me. I'm like, keep pulling it apart.
You're good.
Thank you. So with the 3 locations now, are you going to stick with those 3, or do you think that you're going to be doing more as time goes on? Or do you just let those build for a little while?
So I would like to expand, but I am very picky about where we set up. I mean, it took me long enough to open the second and third one. I probably will eventually open a couple of other locations. The biggest thing to me actually is having competent people there. So I have people that I can trust running those locations who are as passionate about fireworks as I am. I want to make sure we deliver the highest quality guest experience, that every person leaves satisfied. So I don't want to rush to it. There's a lot of other companies that straight up open dozens of tents, and then they just put ads out. Hey, you want to run a location here, and they'll pay them whatever it is, and it's never very much. I can tell you that. We do a higher volume, so my managers make good money, but I'm not just going to let anybody run a place. So, and there's a couple of other people who are interested in working for me who I think will eventually get a spot.
Oh, there's a line. They're like, I want my own location.
A couple of other people, I can't even call them kids anymore, who worked for me for years and years, who would definitely be interested, who I think would be great managers.
When you look at different areas, do you look at everything from the traffic to the parking lot to what's the surrounding businesses?
Exactly. The demographics of the area, is it mostly businesses, residential? Part of it is different cities and counties and incorporated, unincorporated have all different laws for setting up.
Oh,
for seasonal. So you have to look at that and take it all into account. And I don't want to spread too far from where we're at. Our Eustis location is a trek from us. It's like an hour.
Is it?
For us. But it's a great spot there. And we had a gentleman who actually owned a business that was in the same.
Is it in a
shopping
parking lot
complex.
as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
In a parking lot there. And a good friend of mine owned the Hometown Market, which was a grocery store there. And he was a fireworks fanatic as well. And he said, hey, I want to open a place in front of my grocery store. And we opened it up, and it's been a huge success.
I remember when it
every year.
opened. Yeah. But yeah, the funny thing is that Longwood, even though that's your number one, that parking lot is a pain in the butt.
Yes, it is. So who knew? Whenever I was
Yeah.
first looking, you never think about some of the logistics of that type of stuff. And the other thing is, whenever I was first looking, half the stores in that building were empty.
Right.
So they didn't have quite the traffic that they have now. So,
But still, that just is a set. That says how good he is because, like you said, that parking lot. It's funny is because Aiden driving to work his first day, he just got his license, and so he took a right from 434 onto 436. And he all of a sudden realized he had to cut over 3 lanes of traffic. And he was like, I'm not doing that. So he drove past it, made a U-turn. And he said that when he got to the parking lot and parked and walked in, everyone's like, how you doing? He was like, I'm good.
Oh, man.
He's like, I'm fine.
that's fine. Now he's an old pro.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, did you hit anybody? He's like, no. I'm like, is there anything wrong with the car? No. I'm like, you did fine.
You're good.
You're good. Like, you're going to be in those situations. You're not going to like them. It's going to happen. That's how you get better at driving.
Exactly. So we love the Eustis location. In fact, I'm considering another in Lake County because there's definitely demand there. But logistically, it's just tough to keep them stocked and to take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. So
Do they all have the same sort of thing? Or?
So it's getting inventory there. I mean, you can only fit so much inventory under a tent, and we'll put storage containers next to it.
Right.
But as in fact, I have I have an order coming in tomorrow that was running late. One of my orders, and I want to get that on the shelf. So when it comes in tomorrow to our warehouse, we're going to unload it, and I'm going to send a truck out to Eustis and to Sanford and to Longwood to get that product right on the shelf.
Right. Do you
And
rent trucks for this time period too?
Yeah.
Like the big ones that they can load it on and take
Yeah.
it there and back and forth. And so you have specific drivers for all of that stuff.
So
and everything.
actually, most of it I pay a company to take care of that. For
Okay.
me, so
Then you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
All that stuff. That makes a lot of sense. So in the world of fireworks too, we talked about like those packages that you do. Like they're set up like how I was talking about, to where there's like a beginning, the middle, and the end kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Okay. So and you said that you just kind of put those together on your own, or like it's kind of like putting together a puzzle piece almost.
It is. So most of the packages that we offer, like if you're coming into the location, into the tent, what I do is I'll say, okay, with this package, you get any mortar kit up to $99. You get any 2 500-gram cakes up to $129. You get any 4 200-gram cakes priced up to $49.95, so that they can still pick their own fireworks. So I make sure that we give it like it's a 20-25% discount off of the value of that as a package, but you still have a choice when you come in as to what you want in that package. Because
Gotcha. Okay.
it's hard to say, hey, this specific cake because some people may not like that effect or that color or that noise.
Are people
or
really
whatever.
that choosy on fireworks?
I know. That's what I was thinking.
You would, so people who buy a lot of fireworks are choosy like that. And
But you know them, don't you? You
I
know
do.
them.
I know this. We
Yeah.
had a person who came in Monday night, and they're like, I want giant gold brocade. And I was like, okay, so you want toxic. It's on the shelf. Let me show what it looks like. And that's what they like. They don't like the loud cake. They don't like all the colors. They like the big gold brocade. Well, I make sure that we carry a cake that does just that, because there are people who like that. And there's others who I like one at a time shots really loud. Okay, so here's your choices for those.
I just don't like the screaming ones.
I'm not a
Just
fan of
keep me
those
away
either.
from
Oh
those.
my God.
But the rest of
Whistling,
them, yeah.
you either love it or you
I
hate
hate
it.
it.
There's no middle ground when
I
it comes
hate
to
it.
But they
whistling.
always
so
end up
much.
chasing you. No matter what, it doesn't matter where you go, they find you and they chase you. Am I
that
right?
might just be you.
You know I'm not. You know for a fact that happens. It doesn't matter.
I've seen it happen.
You can like hide behind a tree. It's coming after you. It's just the way it is. And like even those little spinner ones, like zzz, they'll come after you too.
Nice. I think you have a magnet.
Maybe
A firework
maybe
magnet.
I do. I've been hit by many. I know. I've been like I got knocked in the head by a mortar coming down once.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes, I had Aiden on my lap too, and he was a baby. I was like, glad it hit me and not him. But then Tom and his buddies, they would have like Roman candle fights.
Oh, fun.
Oh God, the things I did whenever I was younger. I
Like
can't
in the
even
neighborhood, like pointing them at each other,
Oh,
like
fun.
so that they'd see nothing but balls of flames coming at them.
Look, I have people come in. They're like, I want to buy a case of Roman candles. I'm like, why?
No.
Why? Why is my next question?
Yeah.
You're like,
And if they start looking sketchy, the
Yep.
answer's no.
No.
do you do that sometimes? They put limits on it. You're like, yeah, that's
So,
too much.
We have turned out. I try not to. I try actually to talk them out of it and educate them. That does not always work.
What are
Yeah.
some situations that people are?
So
I would say people that are wasted that come in and are like,
yeah,
I want 100%. And I want that.
When people come in on the 4th of July at like after 9 p.m., 25% of them are hammered.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want the biggest boom you've got there. And I'm like, you are not capable
Right.
of doing
Oh,
any of
God.
these things right now. I'll give you a couple of fountains. if you
Yeah.
wanna-
Yeah, you want this cool snake thing?
How about some sparklers and snakes? So,
All right. So, yeah, we're done. That's it. I know it goes by so fast. So, Craig, give everybody your information and tell them where they can find you.
sure. iwantfireworks.com is our website. It's got all of our locations there, handy maps on how to get there. It's also got videos of most of the stuff we sell and a link to our online store.
And it's iwantfireworks.com.
And you can find me at strikingbrand.com and strikingbrand on all social media platforms.
And I am Angela, and you can find everything that you need to know about Bad Radio on badradio.com. And a huge thank you to our sponsors, and thank you for tuning in, and have a great week.
This has been Bad Radio. Yeah, make sure you tune in next week. 11 o'clock Sundays till 1 p.m. We do it up for you right. Business at a distance. BAAD radio.com.
Done.
Yay. Oh, thank you. Always a ball.
Good job, everybody.
Standing in the